which is unfortunate because
Where do they pick up the stuff at? Like before the conference, they just go?
2 years ago they mailed it to you.
Really?
But now they require you to pick it up there.
Wow.
It's unfortunate because basically the entrepreneurs are taking away seats from people that actually want to be there. Entrepreneurs meaning people who just
want to buy it and sell it.
Yeah. But I did manage to go 4 years ago and got a Motorola Droid and was it HTC phone at the time?
The G1?
No, it's after that. The Evo 4G. Gave one to my sister and
sold the other.
Sold the other one. Because the Evo was like Sprint. Ooh, Evo's Sprint. But last year I just bought a Google Nexus. You can go on the Google Play Store and just buy one. It's like $300.
Did you buy it?
It's
the week it
$285
came
right
out?
now.
What?
Did you buy it the week it came out?
No.
When everything was sold out, like as soon as it came out?
This is the Nexus, just the Google Nexus. Not even the 4, just the Nexus phone.
Oh, like the Nexus S or whatever it was?
Yeah, Nexus S, yeah.
Okay.
And that's been fine. But I use it without a contract, just get Wi-Fi only. It's like, why spend $200 with a 2-year contract when you can spend $100 more and get it without the contract? Switch whenever you want. Okay, so I need to figure out how to get this GUI to work. But this is the general idea that you will do, which is create your buttons, set a layout, add it to the layout, and then that puts the GUI on the screen, but you can't do anything with it because you need to get it so that when you click on a button, it actually reacts to that button being clicked. So I wish I could show you the picture, but I'll show you what has to happen kind of behind the scenes. So we have our GUI here. And when you click on a button, it generates something called an event. There are button click events, there are mouse movement events, there's window movement events, and basically anything you do on the screen generates an event. And if you were to write your program to respond to every single event that was generated, you'd get thousands of them, because even just moving the cursor through your window generates a whole stream of events as the mouse goes through it. So you only want to listen for certain events. And in this case, we want to listen to button clicks, which are called action events. An action has happened. When you click on a button, it's going to generate an action event, and it's going to send that event to a method that you're going to write called action performed. And you get an action event object. We'll call it E. So you will get an object of type action event. And inside your method, you can call it E. What you don't get is what button was clicked. You just got an event that says a button was clicked. And now it's up to you to figure out what button it was. The way we're going to do that is we're going to assign a string to each one of these buttons, and that string will get passed along with that action event, and then we can look at the string and figure out what button was clicked. So maybe along with the, and we get to pick the strings. It can be whatever we want. So maybe along with the corgi button, we'll pass it the string. Could be corgi, could be just C. You know, we get to pick. This one could be S, this could be P, E, Z, and A. So inside here, we'll go string B equals E dot get action command. call get action command on this event, and it'll return a string to us. And that string will either be C, S, P, B, Z, or A. So what do we do with that? Yeah, we do if B dot equals, let's say it equals Z. What should we do?
Take that J text field and set it to whatever that method returns.
So we should call
Or object.
the sleep method on the dog object, get that string back, and then set the value of the label. So we'll go something like D string out equals D dot sleep. Right? Does that make sense? We're going to call sleep on the dog, get an output from it, and then we'll go output dot set text out.
Did you find it?
What's that?
The alarm's going off again.
Did someone go out and find out what the deal is?
Guy's drunk, passed out at the table.
I'm curious now. The last piece is, how do we set these strings in the first place?
The B, string B.
Well, how do we associate B with bark?
Yeah.
That's done here. And we'll go pub dot set action command P. And that associates this string P with the pub button.
You have to set the action listener before the command, or doesn't matter?
Action
what-
listener.
Yeah, this comes with, so the program comes with a nice function called add action listeners. And it just runs through all of your widgets and sets it all up behind the scenes. So this is the part of the bag of herd that you don't have to deal with.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're manually creating tons of what are called private inner classes with overridden methods that implement blah, blah, blah. And it's a big
The
mess.
only perk being that you can use more than one action listener, I guess.
With this,
Well, that one, it sounds like, it's a universal action listener for all your,
no, actually, it's creating a whole bunch of private inner classes. And this action command is actually dispatching it out to all those private ones behind the scenes. So to rewind there, you need to associate a string with each thing that the user can click on. That's done with set action command. Then you need to add action listeners. Need a report.
huh?
What happened?
Oh, to do that? No, what's the method?
So he was asleep out there?
Dude, he was so passed out. I was like, dude, wake up. Wake up, man. Dude, your alarm's going off.
Wasn't drunk, was he?
Huh?
Wasn't drunk, was he?
No. He was seriously passed out. He missed a lot of class, dude. That alone was for class. It's been off for like an hour now.
Can you run through one more time how it works in terms of clicking the button and then the computer knows that the button was clicked?
Okay.
And some action that comes out from clicking the
Yep.
button?
When you click on a button,
Yeah.
the computer behind the scenes generates an object called an action event.
Okay.
And it puts in, so this object, imagine just a little box here, and it puts inside of that event this string that you associate with it.
Okay.
And then it passes that to your action performed method as the argument to it.
Okay.
So inside your action performed, you receive this event object, and the first thing you need to do is pluck that string out of there,
Okay.
which is what we're doing right here.
But if it's, okay, so you put string B, in this case it's S, right?
Yeah, from this button here.
Okay.
This one over here would generate an event that has a B in it.
Okay.
How does it know to call the action performed? I mean,
Added the action.
did you have to actually, is that an actual, like, type of method that we have to actually?
Yes.
Like, I couldn't call it action
It's also-
J,
No, when you do that add action listeners, it
only looks for an action
It
perform
actually,
method.
yeah, it expects you to
So
write
I
out
have to
a
make an
action
action
perform.
perform
Yep.
method.
Did you already add the import of event, because it won't work without it?
No, I haven't done that yet. So when you click on a button, it will create this object for you, and then it will look for and call a method called action perform, and pass it in as the input.
Okay, got it.
And then what about the rest of the method?
The rest of it is just figure out what that string was, and do the appropriate things based on that string. So if they click on the sleep button,
Yeah.
I want to tell the dog to sleep,
What is string out? Why did you put out down?
because what does sleep return?
The string.
Returns a string.
Okay.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Out's just the variable name of the string. There
Yeah.
it's string B, here it's string out. You can call it whatever you want.
Okay.
Whatever.
So the sleep method of a dog returns what sound the dog makes when it's sleeping. So this is just the string that it returns, which for a pug is like ... something like that, and for the Shih Tzu was...
Me.
Yeah.
You don't have to say, this dot output?
Here?
Yeah.
No, well, the intention is that output here is,
That output.
where is it? This one right here.
Right, so you don't need this for that?
Well, let's see, is this gonna work? No, it doesn't know what an action event is.
That's the import.
Yeah, so there's another import to do. Import java x dot swing dot, no, java dot
Java dot AWT dot
event.
dot star.
Yeah. Okay, and now it doesn't know what dog is. What is dog?
You have to implement it?
Well, let's go ahead and see if, else if action equals C, what should I do?
Set dog to a new corgi.
Dog equals new corgi. Okay, but it still doesn't know what dog is.
So you have to initialize it?
Now, if I go dog equals new 4D, is that gonna work? Still doesn't know what dog is. Okay, let's move this up here. Still don't know, oh, well, got past that. Still don't know what dog is.
Say
But-
dog dog?
So what's happening here?
You just said
Well,
dog
you gotta-
first.
You gotta have it outside of that, outside of the
How long does
instance.
this variable last?
Just in that.
Just in that
Just in here.
Yeah.
Alright, so dog, we can't create a dog variable in here. We have to assign it to one that already exists. Where do we declare that dog variable?
Isn't it?
In the init.
Well, if we do it in init, where does it exist?
Only
Only init, outside of
only init.
init.
Beyond that again.
So it has to go
Beyond
way out here.
Should you default that to something? Like a corgi as pre-selected?
Oh, what we can do is, if they try to click on bark and there's no dog, we can output something like, please select a dog.
That's gotta be sleep sound.
No, this should be just dog, right? Still doesn't know about output.
Yeah.
So to be able to change to be able to call a method on output, I can't declare it in here.
This is where my notes get all messed up.
I'll post this.
Is that a James Lee?
The output is a text field.
Oh. And then for each one, you just put comma and add comma.
For what?
Like if you want to add something else, you can put a comma there, like another JText field.
It gives you a variable, and then inside of init, you need to actually create the object that appears on the screen. So I needed to make the output text field be a variable that is outside of both those methods, so that both methods get access to that variable.
In my 12 class, we didn't do any GUI stuff, so what exactly is this referring to? This keyword?
This here?
Yeah.
This? This is an object.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with GUIs.
Oh, really?
No, nothing to do with it. It just means I want to call the add method on this object
Okay.
instead of the add method on some other object. So actually, this .add would just add the same thing.
Okay.
It just reinforces that I want to call it on the woof object and not say on one of the button ones.
It's not referring to init.
No. It's referring to the object itself. So when I say woof, W equals new woof, it's referring to the add method inside of woof, not the add method inside of something else. So this is a special name for the object that is itself. Normally when you invoke a method on an object, you say like, b.sleep or dog.sleep. So you're telling the dog to sleep. And when I say e.getActionCommand, I'm asking E to return that string to me. So this is called sending a message. I'm sending a message to that object. The message I'm giving it is getActionCommand, and it returns a response back to me. So when you do that on an object, you have to refer to the object and then tell it what to do. But for methods that are declared within this class, I don't have to put anything out in front. I just say getActionCommand, and it runs the getActionCommand inside of this class here. But in my CS12 class, I like to kind of standardize things and say anytime you call a method, you have to put an object out in front. You're always addressing that message to something. And if that method is something within your own class, you have to basically put the word me there. Have you ever talked to yourself in third person?
All the time.
Self, remind me to pick up some milk. So that's kind of what we're doing here, is we're just addressing the message to ourselves. And I'm just reinforcing that it is object.method, object.method. So the object is me, I have to put the word this there. So it has nothing to do with GUIs, it has to do with who I'm addressing the method to.
So there's no difference between omitting the this?
No. That's the same thing.
Okay. But add is from the superclass?
Yes.
Okay. Did you say super dot add, would that be the same thing?
In this case, yes, it would be the same thing. However, if I overrode the add method in my class, then it would call the add of the superclass, not of my own. You do the same thing for variables, like this dot output refers to the output variable that I declared up here. Okay, I'll post this and then hopefully I'll get it to work so that it actually puts a window up on the screen. But it sounds like you guys need to work on your stack, jumping yard. About half of you need to work on that.
So that's what.
Yep, so we're gonna go there now and we'll work on that.
Do we have labs today? I thought
Oh, do we have lab today?